Just to recap, a fact is something with scientific evidence. A person who believes they're a woman is factually a woman, but a personal belief is not scientific fact. You've made all three of those statements, right?
Yes.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, so Beth, can you see my sign here? Do you think my sign is racist?
It's not racist.
Do you think it's fascist?
I can't lie. I don't really know the definition of fascist, so I can't respond to that one. But
Okay, so fascism by definition is a political ideology that centers around autocracy as opposed to democracy. It suppresses free speech and it's all about militant governing, basically.
I don't know for certain.
Okay.
I can't really. I don't.
And so we don't think it's racist, we're not sure if it's fascist, but what do you think? Do you think that there should be only women's changing rooms, men's changing rooms and a mixed one, or do you think it should just be men's and a mixed one? What do you think?
Well, I mean, I've been in mixed ones plenty of times. They're fine. I've been in women ones. They're plenty fine. I can't say I've been in men's ones, but I mean, I've heard that they're quite dirty. So personally, I wouldn't want to anyway.
Yeah.
But I mean, from what that sign is, I mean, like for example, trans women are women, so they should go into women's toilets. So.
Okay. So the reason that we're saying that trans women wouldn't be suitable for being in a women's changing room is because if people who have XY chromosomes and male anatomy were to become unstable or to take advantage of that policy to enter the women's changing rooms, they could very easily harm women.
Right. Well, if a man wanted to go and harm a woman, he's not going to pretend to be trans. He's just going to walk in there and do what he wants to do. Trans women have to go through a lot of stuff. They have to go through years of therapy, years of hormones to get so they are comfortable in their own skin, and so they're not gonna go and harm a woman unless they are already that type of person. Not every single trans person is gonna go and harm a woman. Some might, but that's because they are dickheads. So.
Yeah, of course. No, of course not. I'm not saying that all trans women are out to attack women. That's not what I'm saying at all. But don't you think that a policy of allowing males into female changing rooms could lead to males using that policy to protect themselves when they've been in there to take advantage of women?
I don't think that will happen. Trans women have been allowed in women's toilets for a long time, and it's nothing like that's really happened. It's only recently that this sort of topic's come up and has been completely blown out of the water.
Okay. So if a female entered a female changing rooms and she saw a naked male body, like male genitalia, for example, and she felt uncomfortable and decided to report it, do you think that report should be investigated?
It depends. Well, if someone's just getting changed, they're just getting changed. If someone was parading around, that's a different issue. Like, I've been in mixed changing rooms before, and there were men, there were women. Some people get changed in the open. That's their decision. If it was me, I would say that all changing rooms should have stalls, and everyone should get changed in a stall.
Okay.
So and then it be mixed if you want, because everyone's going to have a stall, so you've got your own private area.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think that sounds a lot better than just open female changing rooms with males in. Is the difference not, though, consent? Because if you're in a mixed changing room, you've consented to being around naked males. If you're in a female changing room, you haven't.
Well, can't lie here, most trans women aren't really comfortable being out in the open, just hanging stuff out, so they would probably be in a private changing room.
Yeah, genuine trans women would, but a policy that allows trans women into female changing rooms allows males who aren't genuine to take advantage of that.
They'll go in there anyway. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
So that should be investigated and stopped, right?
if they're parading around, like I said, if they're literally just, they've got their stuff out, getting changed, if it's like a swimming area, if they're putting swimming stuff on or they're getting out of swimming stuff, if they're just quickly getting changed, I mean, they're just getting changed. If you don't want to look away. If you don't want to see it, look away. If they were parading it...
Okay, I would say if you don't want to see it, use the women's changing room, except they already did.
If they don't want to see it, they turn away. If someone's parading it around, or like, oh yeah, look, that's a different man. That should be investigated. But someone just quickly getting changed, and most of the time, I don't know about you, if I had to get changed in the open, I would turn away so no one could really see, except the backsides. But everyone's got one of those, so.
Okay, so just to be clear, you think that anyone who wants to can use the women's changing room?
No, trans women and women should go into their women's changing rooms and restrooms. Trans men and men go into the men's changing rooms. If it's a mixed changing room or toilet, doesn't matter. It's a mixed changing room. Everyone goes in there.
So what makes someone a trans woman?
Someone who identifies as female, as a woman. Someone who identifies as a woman is a trans woman.
And how do you tell those people apart from the people who say they identify as female?
Well, if you say you're female, you can't change to be female. That was a misstep on me. You can't change to be female because female is a sex. That is your chromosomes. But woman is the social point of it. It's what you prescribe yourself as. It's what you see yourself as. So that's how you personally.
So sorry, what's the difference between a woman and someone who just says they're a woman?
Well, if you mean someone who doesn't really say they're trans, is that what you mean?
I just mean if a person walked up to you and said, I am a woman, and then a trans woman walked up to you and said, I am a woman, what would be the difference in those two situations?
Well, there wouldn't really be a difference.
Okay.
If someone says they're a woman, I'm going to address them as a woman. So, there you go. But if they don't actually think that, if they're not actually trans, well then I don't...
But what makes someone actually trans?
The real thing would be gender dysphoria is like the thing.
Uh-huh.
So that is, you're not physically comfortable with the gender you were assigned with at birth.
Right.
So therefore, that is...
Okay, but what makes someone a woman? That's what I'm asking. Like, any person who says, I'm a woman, I've got gender dysphoria, a male who says, I've got gender dysphoria, right? What makes that person a woman?
That's what they believe. That's what makes them a woman.
Okay, but I'm a woman and I don't have gender dysphoria.
Well, then you're a woman.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, but you said gender dysphoria is what makes someone a woman.
Okay, well that's taking what I said and mixing it. Someone who has gender dysphoria, a male that has gender dysphoria and says they are a woman, says they are a woman, then they are a woman. And it goes the other way around.
Right. What makes someone a woman?
What makes someone a woman is them saying that they are a woman.
But anyone can say anything.
Well, it's up to them if someone says that they're a woman, I'm going to identify them as a woman. If you said you were a man, I'd call you a man. I would use he pronouns for you. If someone who was big, burly, with a beard said they identified as a woman, I'd call them she, because that's what they want.
You'd call them that, but what would make them a woman?
Them believing it. Them actually...
So a person believing something makes it a fact?
Well, I mean, that's pretty similar with Christians. They believe God's real, so therefore they think God's real.
And is it a fact?
If to them it's a fact, then it's a fact. It doesn't matter what I think, that's them.
So anything that is a fact to one person is a fact?
It depends on the person. Sorry, you're asking really...
What is a fact?
A fact is something that is a truthful statement.
truthful. A fact is something that's truthful. Okay, so what makes something true?
It depends on what you mean by that, because obviously you've got like scientific facts, which are stuff that have been found out, which is, well, gender dysphoria is a real thing. That's a scientific fact.
Yeah.
So that is the leading cause. I say leading cause, that's a weird way to put it, but that is trans, is gender dysphoria, which is a factual scientific thing.
Yeah.
If someone believes that God is real and they wholeheartedly believe it with their chest, they believe it's a fact. It might not be scientifically proven. They believe it's a fact. I don't believe it's a fact. I think it's an opinion.
Well, either something is a fact or it's not.
It can depend. If it's a very difficult thing to put in some cases. If you're wanting a base, like what is a fact, period, no sort of nuances to it, it's scientific evidence.
Right. So a fact is scientific evidence, yeah? Uh-huh. And a person believing that they're a woman is factually a woman.
If they have gender dysphoria, that is factual. If someone doesn't have gender dysphoria, it can depend. Some people might not understand they have gender dysphoria, but no, they don't. Like a male doesn't understand gender dysphoria, so then they know that they are like a woman. So
I think just now you said that what makes a person a woman is believing that they're a woman. And that makes it a fact that they're a woman. And then you said that a fact is scientific evidence. Well, I don't think personal belief is scientific evidence, do you?
Well, personal belief is not scientific fact, but gender dysphoria is a scientific fact. So therefore, trans people...
Yeah, but I don't experience gender dysphoria and I'm a woman. And you said what makes a person a woman is believing they're a woman. And then you said that personal belief is not scientific fact.
Well, you believe you're a woman. Doesn't matter if you've got gender dysphoria or not. You believe you're a woman, you're a woman. That's...
Okay, but I have scientific fact that I'm a woman.
You have scientific fact that you're a female.
Yes.
Yes.
An adult female. Woman.
Right, that... Okay then.
So, I'm sorry. Just to recap. A fact is something with scientific evidence. A person who believes they're a woman is factually a woman, but a personal belief is not scientific fact. You've made all three of those statements, right?
Yes.